Steve, since he was thinking too hard.
On to the next one, or just?
Okay.
Looks like he's firing up here.
Okay.
That social security, Jeremy, you okay with that number?
Yep.
4590, okay. Shipping materials, going from 200 to 600. Spent 165 this year, 0 last year, and 261 the year before.
What is shipping?
We ship, number 1 plastic, number 2 plastic, aluminum bales, cardboard, mixed paper, electronics,
Oh, that's a
So
pretty
these are all
good
the
deal.
the pallets.
the pallets, the slip sheets, the wire for the balers to bale them.
Oh, shipping materials, okay, I get it, sorry.
It's not the actual shipping.
Yeah, right.
Sounds like we're getting a great deal for
All
what's
right,
that, no.
okay, no, that makes sense,
More like packing material.
yeah, I get it, alright.
It's not the act of shipping materials. Right. So $1 for state retirement, in case we get a full-time employee, unemployment compensation, not relevant, I don't know why that line is in here, it's been at 0 forever. Telephone basic rate, we're going up to 1,000, what's happening with this?
The
We're not on VoIP.
double
Yeah.
in the middle of the year.
For everybody,
Steve, any
right?
comments? This is usually your realm.
What's that?
Talk about POTS lines and copper lines.
The phone, he has no words.
I looked into it, I talked to the phone company people, and they're like, yeah, it doesn't work. Apparently the signaling tones that they use
Yep.
on the alarms aren't accurately recreated over the VoIP.
VoIP.
And we
Yeah.
need them.
So you have to have it in order to do the alarm. Okay.
But I can't believe somebody isn't coming out with stuff that does work.
Well, we're waiting.
It
Well,
does,
when they do,
that's what I have, it works.
It works on a voice over IP?
Yeah.
Okay,
I know it works because the alarm's going off.
okay. Yeah, so
30
the
minutes
stuff
later,
must be
it's
out
there.
there as these systems need to get replaced.
Yep.
And probably pay to,
Is this an alarm down there, or is this an actual phone?
it's both.
Yeah, I think it's both.
Yeah.
It's both.
Alarms,
Well,
yeah, they have the alarms. for
There's
all
a
the
phone, there's
stuff.
a
You have
real
a phone, you
phone.
have the POTS line that the alarm's tied into. You can pick up the receiver and make a
Well, I
call.
think it's one line.
But they have their own phone line down there too. It's a 242 number.
Right, but the alarm system is tied into
Yeah,
that.
it's the
Into
same.
the
Oh.
same line,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
One line.
okay, alright,
so it must be an auto dialer. The alarm system.
now you're just picking stuff I don't know.
Well, basically it makes a phone call.
Probably archaic,
Sets up the
whatever
alarm.
it is. Alright, telephone toll charges, 0. Training, hiring, and testing, going from 250 to 350. Travel reimbursement, level funding at 100. Tipping fees. Looks like we're level funding at 47,000 and continue to beat budget, so that's good. Trucking fees, bumping that up to 9250. See, we've had a couple of times in the past where we've been over, but. Okay, waste/recycle. Going from 3,000 to 6,000. I'm looking at this historicals and it seems like that makes sense. So, anybody have any questions? Workers' compensation. 1033 is a good number, Jeremy? The confidence is in it. Did we make any changes?
No,
Alright, so that's gonna be again, a tentative, and the salary piece of this is gotta be closely looked at by the select board. So how they wanna do that. And we'll be coming back to that, so I would entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to potentially approve.
195059.
Yes.
I'll second it.
We got a motion from Tara, second Deb, I think, I believe. Okay, any further discussion, questions, comments, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried. Alright, highway. Get in on this one, good.
Alright, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Tomorrow?
Wait, that's tomorrow?
Did you mean you'll be here till Tuesday?
Probably.
Good, I'm not gonna be.
I got a sleeping bag in the Durango, so we're good.
There you go, that's better.
This one's big enough to read.
Doesn't make you squint. Doesn't make you squint.
No, either seat or dumb. Squinting makes it worse.
Alright.
Okay. Public Works Director, we actually have some, comments under the budget justification piece here. Public Works Director is line 101, is that true? You read off the bat here?
Yep.
Under the budget justification, the comments are $52,000 is the current salary in 2024, proposed salary is $85,000, the salary that John is asking for is the lowest salary in the state for a full-time road agent. This amount is well deserved due to not getting a raise after excellent performance evaluation. This is definitely outside the purview of the budget committee as far as, you know, deciding whether or not your performance deserves or doesn't deserve the money.
Well, I planned it for the other way around.
Yes, this is not your fault. One of the questions I would have had would be the study that you did on the salary study would have been helpful, and the select board may still ask you for that, so. That's the only comment I have. Does anybody have any comments on this?
If you
Comments
could bring
or
the
questions?
salary study tomorrow night, that would be helpful. I mean.
Yeah.
Where'd you get you made a statement, where'd you get the information?
Yep.
I believe it, but,
I do have it somewhere.
okay.
New Hampshire, May?
Yes.
So does this end up being level funded as far as the budget goes?
Oh, he's proposing a 33%,
Yeah, he's got an increase.
the 63%
No, I'm
raise.
just saying, like we did before.
No, we only did that on the
Trustee.
the trustees because they were an elected position.
Okay, all right. I withdraw my question.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Actually, it's a good time to ask you this, Dick. Are you guys still doing the raise warrant article?
No, we didn't do it last year,
Okay,
and, I think when we initially did it, it worked and it fixed the problem. And as the years have gone by, it's gotten more convoluted and complicated.
so you just build it into
We're
the
just,
budgets
we're
as you
just
go
putting
along.
it in the budgets.
Okay, but there's still gonna, the warrant article will still be separate for the elected positions that are looking to have an increase.
Correct.
Okay, that makes way more sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we have any elected positions that are, I thought we raised them all last year, but.
Cemetery.
The cemetery trustees asked for a slight increase,
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah.
Alright. Next.
No questions? Okay, laborer number 1. So this is going from 47.5 to 55, this is $7,500 increase, it's a 15% increase under our justification. This 47.5 is an equivalent of $22.83 per hour, proposed amount is $55,000, new hourly rate would equal $26.44 per hour. The employee has been working for the town for 36 years. Other departments have hired new employees with little to no experience for almost $3 an hour more than what this employee makes. Okay. That's the statement. Anybody have any questions or thoughts on that? Dick, is there anything you'd be looking for tomorrow night's meeting from John on that?
Well, I guess the one thought that we had on this is, offset some of that with the overtime. We've got a reduction, he's budgeted a significant reduction in his overtime. And is that gonna apply back to that particular position? Or is that spread over the group, or what's your thinking?
That's spread over the group.
So we
We're not getting the winners that we used to.
well, yeah, I read that, and then we'll
Right,
get
nets.
36 inches
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah.
But
Trust us all.
we're aware of the challenges with the salary situation of the highway department, and I think I'm not in a position to make a statement one way or another. It is something that we're aware of, and we anticipate going into detail with John over. But on these particular salaries, there's no way we can,
Just leave these out till after tomorrow.
well, I think you can look at them and say, this is what they're
Tentative.
proposing. I mean,
It's all tempting.
I think we're gonna have to come back to it though.
Yep, no, I agree, I just didn't know, I know you wanted something for
Well, he's
specific
got-
for the other one, and don't think there's anything you wanted on that one.
Yeah, I think we have some questions about how the laborer one and laborer two positions are structured, and, how the overtime is arranged, and there's a lot of time off that's involved with some of these. So we're in a situation where, you know, we'll just get into that tomorrow.
On the overtime, so $9,500 total monies for overtime, proposed amount is $4,500, dropping this line $5,000 for a new total of $4,500. We don't have the winters we used to, overtime is becoming more scarce. Okay. Anybody have any thoughts or questions on that?
Well, I guess it's a matter of managing it better, cause we will get 20 feet of snow this year because you said that.
Just because you put that in your memo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know we've talked in the past about, you know, when we know we're getting a storm, is taking time off during the day to, so, you know, things are
Yeah.
not crazy at night, so, is that a component of it too?
Yes, and the other component of it is, we don't have to take the money,
Yeah.
we can take the comp time.
Oh, yeah, I
and
hear
use
you, yeah.
that.
Yeah, plus there's an extra person there now down there too,
Right.
so, yeah.
And the extra person is having a child in December, so
Oh, that'll be fun.
whatever overtime he gets, so he's already said he's gonna take that as comp time for the first year, so that knocks that overtime down again.
Oh, I get it, yeah.
And then the other guy, been there for 36 years, he doesn't wanna do as much plowing anymore. Whatever plowing or salting he does, he'd rather take it in comp time, take time off during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this is again a little bit outside of our depth, but one of the things to be careful about with comp time is non-salaried employees, you can't not pay them for what they work. So what Jamie is outlining is probably the smarter way to do it, would be to give time off as an anticipated storm is coming in, so that they don't actually get the overtime.
Right.
A salaried employee, you can certainly fuss around with numbers like that and add that as a benefit essentially, because you technically don't have to pay them by the hour.
Right.
But somebody that's an hourly employee, if they work 42 hours and they wanna take that 2 hours and apply it to the next week, I don't think you can do that.
Well, I
No.
can tell you specifically, you can't do it, because when we were audited by the Labor Department 5 years ago, that is, we had to pay people wages for time that they had been given comp time for.
Yeah.
So, it's a nice thought, but
Yeah, the
is-
smarter way to do it is to give them time off during the week when a snowstorm's coming on Friday night and they're gonna have to be there.
give
you
them
know?
Right.
Thursday off.
That's the thing with the highway department, you can't,
And we've
you can't always do
Well,
that.
we all
Well,
recognize
well,
that
we're
too,
just-
but you have to understand, the rule on compensation is, if John Laborer 2 is out there plowing at 2 o'clock in the morning, we must pay him, he cannot take it in comp time, much as he is happy with the comp time, much as we're happy to do it that way, we will absolutely be required to pay him.
So another way to get around that is, we called it minus time in the state. You work your 8 hours from midnight to 8 AM.
Mm-hmm.
So if the storm comes in at 11 o'clock, you get that 1 hour of overtime for the previous day, and then you work your 8 hours the next day, midnight to 8 AM. And then you get that time off, so you're not getting the overtime, you're getting your 8 hours worked in that
Well,
24
the
hours.
system is designed to be difficult to get around.
It has to happen all in the same week, that's the,
Yeah.
that's the only way to
Correct.
think about it.
Right.
Whatever compensation or whatever adjustment in time has to happen in that same work week.
Right.
If they've worked 40 hours up until Wednesday, because it's been a day and night plowing or whatever, then you gotta give them, if they want comp time, you have to give them the rest of the week off, and they gotta start again next week.
Right.
So that's the
See, on
only way you
Monday.
can do it legally, you know, and the,
Or we
And-
just
and-
pay them the overtime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we-
It's more damning for us to use comp time incorrectly, because you wind up paying twice.
Yeah.
And you have to find the state,
the, la-
and
and
the
the, and
retirement
the,
system.
the labor board hates the term workaround. So, anyway, that's outside of our, we're just offering some advice. Moving on, advertising. Looks like, we're dropping this down, from $200 to $50, that's what we spent this year. Vehicle insurance. Jeremy, we happy with that number? Looks like the same exact number as last year, and we have no expense on this.
These numbers got changed, so
Just
should be 3854.
3854. Okay, what is our,
I was gonna say,
so we just haven't gotten the bill on this yet, is that why it's 0, or is that changed too?
We've paid it, it just hasn't been broken down between the departments.
Gotcha. Okay. Building maintenance and repair, we're going from 2,000 to 8,000.
A lot of work to do down there at the town barn. That's not a joke, I'm serious.
Oh, yeah,
Just
There's a-
that and some.
ton of work, and the 8,000 was the start of it.
Okay, anybody else have any questions on that? Catch basin cleaning, we're going from 1,800 to 2,500. This is something we use a third party for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's doing that?
Belmar,
Were they here this summer?
they were not. I couldn't get them because the budget got whacked down. It's $215 an hour for an 8-hour minimum.
Be careful.
Yeah. That $2,500 just about covers it.
What's the math on that?
One tap.
I know, 215.
No, it's 8-hour minimum, $215 an hour, right?
1720, so just on 2,000.
Pay for 11 hours.
Oh, my bad. I was just looking at the 1,800, and John said that they wouldn't come here for the 1,800, but it sounds like for 215 times 8 is under the 1,800.
What are they gonna be able to do with that kind of money? Well, what little money it is. 0. They might get one Memorial Drive done in a day. Then, see you next summer.
Yeah, Memorial Drive's
Yeah,
like
that's
25-foot basins. They're not shallow.
So on
I
your
drove by it.
schedule, John, how often does a catch basin need to be cleaned out?
Starting now or 20 years ago?
No, like if you had one that was all cleaned out and done, and when would you have to come back to it?
Inspected every year, once, it could be 2 years, it could be 5 years.
Okay.
Depends on the materials being laid out during the winter time. Depends on truck traffic that's dropping material over the side of the trucks. Leaves that are breaking down, getting in there, organics.
Yep.
All that stuff's a factor, so anywhere between 2 and 5 years.
Okay.
Should be cleaned, should be inspected, basin should be rebuilt. The first sign of deterioration.
What's the, what would it cost to do the whole town hall if you had to do everything in the town?
Don't ask that.
You don't wanna know that number.
No.
That's a warrant article.
No, just curious. I mean, these are long-term planning, discussions that the $85,000 a year guy should have under his belt.
Well, let's put it this way, what would it cost to fix the whole infrastructure in town for
We
water?
don't have enough money for that.
Just
Right.
water,
Just the water?
just the water.
Well, we're not doing it, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you have people come in and sweep every spring?
Yep.
Okay. BDM?
So my question is this enough?
Doesn't sound like it.
I mean,
You do a few basins, yeah.
yeah, but I mean, you added like $700. You said you didn't have enough to get them to come out last
How
year.
many companies have you contacted to come in and do this?
Belmore's the cheapest out of 5.
Any other questions or
See where I'm
thoughts?
going on this?
I'm hearing you, man.
Okay.
Say what you mean.
I
Mean what
did.
you say.
Okay, no response.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody wants to make a motion as we go down through here, more power to you. All right, so chainsaw and supplies, we're going from 150 to 400. Looks like you spent 385 this year. Cleaning supplies, we're going from 100 to 200, spent 188 so far this year. Clothing allowance, more boots, oh, we're buying lots of boots. We're going from
Give me
500 to
ideas.
2,500.
Okay. You find me a pair.
Some high vis with it, yeah.
What other
You're
than
gonna need them
boots?
when you're working on the street out front of your house.
No, that's the state.
Sorry.
It's
Yeah,
about the
they're helping
town.
Anybody have any questions or thoughts on that one?
Well,
What's up?
it's a, yeah, what are you buying, John? Outside of boots, or fancy gold-plated boots?
Well,
High vis or something.
I live by 2 rules in life. 2 things you should never skimp on: your boots and your mattress. You're either on your feet or in your bed.
So you're buying mattresses?
Got a nice fancy cot down there. But
Yeah,
you figure 2 pairs of boots a year per employee. You have 1 pair that you kill the hell out of the first half of the year, and then you skate by with another pair the second half. And with the rain that we got last year, with no rain this year,
Don't eat those.
Yeah,
with the way things are going, we're buying more muck boots, frog dogs, more beaver problems, so we're getting in the water more.
Moving on,
Mhm.
okay. Cold patch, we're, going from $750 to $1,000 on that. Looks like we've kind of been a little all over the place on overall actual expenditure on those. Computer/software, going from 2,600 to 2,800, looks like 2,800 is what we're going to spend this year.
That's based on worldwide new rates?
Who's new rates?
Worldwide Computer Solutions is our vendor.
I will keep my comments to myself.
Me too.
The service must have gotten better.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that
Alright, I
far.
couldn't keep my comments to myself. Alright, so, next line is computer supplies, 225 to 150.
I think they bought a boat.
Sure, that is the
With a shitload of money in it.
Alright.
construction material,
That went right over.
going from 2,000 to 5,000, John, talk to us about this one.
What are you building?
Construction material? Oh.
So, where the salt and sand is for the residents, we'd like to build, a roof, like building over it, keep it dry for the
You're
winter
not
time.
pushing it all down into the.
We're gonna be making bins around the yard for organizing things when people drop stuff off down there. And then also construction materials for making our own basin covers for concrete. We gotta rebuild the loading ramp. And then there's some other stuff inside that's gotta be fixed. It's gonna come out of that construction cost.
You're gonna, buy waste blocks for your bins, is that what you're doing for bins? Yeah.
Yep.
I got a bin plan too. Alright, materials, it's the only way to keep them separate.
Yep.
Alright, any questions, anybody else? Culverts, we're going from $1,000 to $2,000.
Is that realistic, John?
Culverts?
I mean, is it enough? I mean, the
That's-
cost of culverts is, it's not $50 culverts anymore.
No, so I actually hooked up with a new contact, for the new road agent, Fitzwilliam. We're using Putnam Pipe now, and this guy gets it less than half of what EJP charges us. So we're getting state bid plus a little more of a discount. And we can have it next day.
That sounds good.
And the $2,000 is just to have culverts on hand in case of an emergency.
Is your standard culvert a 12, or what are you,
15 and 18.
15 and 18s?
Yep.
Okay.
Do we even allow 12s?
No.
No.
So,
And 12s on driveways, right? I think we have isn't that a part of our driveway permit, is a 12?
I think it's got bigger than that, isn't it?
Depends on the driveway. I mean, I'll fluctuate it if there's ledge and they can't get
Yeah.
deep enough.
Gotcha, okay. Dam fees, maintenance and repair, we're going from $2,650 to $15,000.
Yep.
Talk to us about this, sure they have questions.
It's another state thing. Dams are supposed to be clear 50 feet from either edge of the dam. They need to be mowed every year to prevent vegetation growing through the earthen part of the dams. Dam repairs, like sand dam, that needs to be reconcreted across the face of it. It's gotta be mowed further back on the bottom part of the earthen dam. We gotta rebuild a ramp going across it, so we can get the machine down there. Perkins Pond, that needs concrete work all the way around. We need to get a new sluice gate in there so we can operate it. Village Pond, that needs to be operable again at some point. Last I knew, they couldn't open it with a Cat 310 excavator in there. It's so easy.
Okay. Planning on doing all of that in 25?
This year, just the mowing and a lot of the concrete work.
Okay. How much of that 15 is the mowing? Approximately.
Probably $5,000, 5,000-6,000.
This goes back
You're up
to
to,
transfer
you're up to
station.
$15,000 towards your mulching head there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Disability insurance, happy with that number?
Should be 1296.
1296, okay. Updating it as we go.
All the numbers got
This
switched
should-
when you.
Should add right up nicely. Dental insurance, talk to me.
The rates went up.
Oh, no, that's a good number?
Yep.
The 3959, I was expecting to change all
That's,
this.
that's what I thought you were
Actually,
saying.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy, could you get better dental insurance, please? Alright, drum oil and grease, looks like we're cutting a little bit out of that.
Yep.
Going from 2,000 to 1,500. This is just throwing the budget committee a bone, I know what you're up to. Sneaky. Alright, dues, memberships and subscriptions, level funding at 200. Electricity, going from 1,500 to 1,800 at 1,432 year to date. Okay. Equipment purchase, 2,000 to 5,000.
What are you buying?
Not a mulching head.
Obviously.
Oh, we were looking at possibly getting a zero-turn mower for the ball field, the dump. Little triangle out in front of the dump, Village Pond Dam. And then that little pull-off on Prospect Street where water and sewer has a manhole out there.
Any other questions?
How much is the mower?
About $4,000
Yeah.
for a decent one.
Could you mow the cemetery with that?
Of course.
Oh, no, we talked about that last year.
Me too now.
Yeah. No?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, no, I would think yes.
Some of
You say
it
no?
is zero turn, some of it you could.
I don't know, not with a 60-inch deck.
Knock over a lot of tombstones.
I don't know, I've never, I mean, I push and weed whack, so.
Cemeteries mowers, their zero turns are 22-inch decks, so they can fit in
Oh, they're
between
little.
stones.
Okay. Feels like kind of a lost opportunity to have to get 2 mowers unless we contract, but.
This is gonna be a lot more than the other mower.
Okay.
Moving on?
Yeah.
Okay. Equipment rental, going from 2,500 to 5,000.
Gonna hopefully be renting a paver this year. While we're doing another road, we can have our trucks out on another road doing some skim patching with a paver.
Okay, any questions on that?
Boy, I feel like a pain in the butt.
Not at all.
So,
Ask as many as you want.
so
for it.
we have, and I don't speak how roads fix, so you have something to pave the road. So you're saying, so that 2 people can be doing the same thing, if we have a paver, can't we use that instead of spending 5,000 to rent a second one? Or are we talking 2 different machines?
2 different things, so next year, the plan is to finish Russell Ave and Brook Street with the block grant. So we'll use that to finish that section. If we rent a paver, we're not paying somebody to come in with their paver, and we're not paying for their trucks,
Right.
and paying their cost of hot top, which is about 40% higher than what we can get it for at Flint.
We're gonna go buy it at the same plant they're gonna go buy it at.
Right, and get it,
Get it at
instead of
cost
$130
instead
a ton, we're paying $85 a ton.
That makes sense.
Are you gonna actually rebuild Brook Street, or are you gonna just shim it again?
All the drainage is done on Brook Street.
Yeah,
So,
but I go back to the problem, it has no base.
no,
I mean, it's just asphalt on mud. Even, you've got drainage, I agree you fixed the drainage very nicely,
you know,
but you're just gonna pave over what's there?
we're gonna grind it, grade it, possibly do an injection on it, and then later in the summer, pave it.
Wouldn't it be cheaper to just rip it up and put some base down?
No,
No, okay.
you'd have to go so far down below to get to good ground.
Well, yeah,
You'd have to
on
get,
Brook Street, you could probably go to China, it's.
right, you'd
it's
have to,
swamp.
you'd have to get under that, the brook level to the
Yeah.
good gravel,
Yeah.
which could be 15 feet,
Mhm.
and 15 feet of road base is,
A lot,
$150,000.
yeah, not worth it.
It'd just be more feasible to take that road, grind it, grade it out, let traffic beat the hell out of it for a month or 2, have them come back in, grind it, and inject it with emulsion, grade it, compact it, let it sit for another month, and then pave it. So you're
And
getting,
how long will that last? Roughly, I mean, the 5 years,
You'd
is
be
it 15
surprised,
years?
Dick.
so the
It won't
new,
be terrible for, it'll last 30 years, but it'll just be terrible for the last 15, that's all.
Right, well, no, I'm good, I mean, I'm in the category of, if I'm not gonna achieve anything, you know, it's like I can lose for 0, if we're gonna not do anything, I hate to spend the money and have it just fall back apart.
that's, the reason why they regrind the roads and do all that is because it holds up better than what
Okay.
road base does, it creates like a concrete layer.
Alright, I'm holding up the meeting, I'm sorry, it's just something I wonder about.
All right, and that's gonna be warrant article stuff anyway, when you get into
Yeah.
that, whether it's block grant or
Yeah.
what have you. Block grant, you're just receiving that in the warrant article, but if there's more than block grant, then you'll have a warrant article for that, so.
To me, there's worse roads than Brook Street.
There, I agree with you.
There's one quarter mile down the road.
All right, so the cat loader, 98 cat loader, we're looking to do some work on that this year.
Yeah, we're doing a remodel.
Going from 3,000 to 10,000. $7,000 increase, $509 this year, $3,800 last year.
Needs new pins, bushings, bearings, pistons, piston seals, bodywork, lights, strobe lights.
A new one would be a fortune.
Either we spend the 10 grand or be down a loader, and then pay 260,000 for a brand new one.
No.
This equipment is just deteriorated over time for so long with the lack of maintenance that now I'm getting a bite in the ass for it.
Right.
10,000 is a lot cheaper than
Yeah.
a new, yeah, and it's a 98, and so if we can get another 5 or 6 years out of it from that,
I
mean,
might not do, but
right?
at least another 2.
That's how they take care of them, how they use them too.
Okay, so we're gonna jump down to 332, which is the New Holland backhoe repair.
I know,
Uh,
I'm just separated.
No, we're almost done.
Well, there's no,
Steve.
Silly me.
yeah, you got like multiple pages here. There's no, we're level funding it at 1,000 because it looks like you paid for it all this year. What is the,
It's on the sheet.
is it on the sheet?
Yeah, the bottom of the first page.
Budget overages, thank you. More breakdowns, need new seals for, motor valve, new piston seals on the hoe, new hydraulic lines that have blown, needed new four-wheel drive
Oh, I
solenoid,
thought I was looking for.
flasher relay, needed new
made
headlights
that.
and work lights.
And we're still chasing leaks and motor problems.
Okay. Level funded for next year. Any other questions on that? Alright, equipment repair, roller and trailer. Did you get rid of this piece of equipment?
I would like to.
Okay,
A roller from the 70s.
okay, you don't plan on using it?
My understanding, it was bought for when the sidewalks were supposed to be done. And then the state came in, did all the sidewalks, and the roller is never been used.
Okay,
It was kind of obsolete.
okay. Well, putting 0 in there is not allowing you to spend any on it, so. If you're okay with that, then we'll move on.
You.
Chipper, going from 500 to 1,000, increased by $500. Currently this year we spent 32 and spent nothing on it in the last couple of years. It looked like it got some action this year, actually used, so.
Yep. It actually came out of the weeds this year.
It was buried in weeds,
Weeds, trees.
yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody wants to just-
1988.
If somebody wants to just point out where this is coming up on the budget, justification sheet, that'd be great. So equipment repair, the sweeper,
That's kind of justification line on it.
Yeah.
okay, what's it say?
New bristles for the small sweeper and new lights and more hydraulic fluid for the big sweeper.
That's just for the overage, why are we going down to $0 on this thing?
We should be all set for a few years on it.
Okay, I would recommend you put $1 in this, just in case something comes up, and then you can assign the appropriate.
Yep.
Because if you don't have $1 in there, you can't actually spend out of that line item, so anything for the sweeper would be, let's say something happened to it, you like literally could not spend any money on it.
Yep.
So,
All pages.
and that's a piece of equipment you're not getting rid of, you wanna use, so.
Right.
Alright, so I'm changing that to $1 as a request from John.
Next one. Justification.
Equipment repair sand spreaders, level funding at $2,000. General supplies, we're going from $750 to $1,000. Spent $788 this year. Generator service, jumping down to hardware, nuts and bolts, line 400. going from 350 to 500. Health insurance. Talk to me, Jeremy.
That's good.
Good enough.
Good number? Okay. Heating oil, we're going from 2,800 to 3,500, we've got 3,082 spent so far year to date. Oil burner service, dropping that down from 500 to 300, looks like we haven't spent any in that line item for a couple of years.
No, that was done, I can't remember the number on it now.
We just paid one for this year, it just hasn't made it on here. Okay. Hot mix, blowing that down to 1,200 from 2,500. Ice control sand, going from 1,000 to 275. Ice control salt, level funding at 40,000, spent very little this year. That's good. Ice control calcium chloride, level funding at $250. That's for catch basins, right? That we use to like open up
Catch basins, and we're gonna get away from mixing the salt sand for the sidewalks and just using sand and calcium,
Okay.
which there should be a bill coming in for that for just about $250.
Okay. Labor contracted services, we're level funding that at 12,000, spent 14,275.
I got a note on that.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
You can
You,
read.
okay. That was the plowing expense for the one person, that didn't get used over the winter, and then the remaining was for a ditch roadside in the big 300-foot pipe project.
Okay, are we not doing that contract anymore? This was Courtney's contract, right?
Yeah.
So why are we still at 12,000 then?
I got roadside mowing to do
Okay,
with the excavator.
okay. Anybody else have any other questions on that? Internet, zero, sorry, life insurance. Is that good? Excellent. Line striping. Going from 1,800 to 1,700, spent 1,559 this year. Did we do that in the spring?
Yep.
Good job.
We actually did it before Memorial Day this year.
That's excellent. That's all you can ask for. When we did it in October, those few years, it was like, I don't understand this. I don't get the point of this.
You gotta make
We
the
just plow it
lines,
right off and, yeah, anyway.
you can see the lines actually plow though, you know where to stop.
Yeah, they're still there, I guarantee you.
They're not
Liability
right behind you.
insurance, 1475,
1571.
1571, okay. Property insurance,
325.
325. Office supplies, we're going from 200 to 425.
Got a note to read.
Oh, this has no? Which one was office supplies?
640.
Okay. Overage 120. Printing out papers, bills, and current news in the world of the highways for the crew to read and stay updated. Pens, paper clips, folders to organize office things. That's for the overage.
Okay. Pest control, we're going from 400 to 650, currently spent 635 this year. Same pest control company that we use for the transfer station.
Yep.
Radio, radar, and electronics, oh boy, 250 to 5,000, we haven't spent any in a long time here, so.
Yep. New radios all around.
Repair, replace.
Replace.
No note on that one to read?
No.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or thoughts on that?
Warrant article?
It is the $5,000 mark.
I think it really belongs in their budget. It's really just deferred maintenance.
I mean, that's how we communicate during snowstorms, or if we're out working.
No, I don't, it's not so
No.
much the, it's the accounting of it, it's not really the net. the need of it, it's where it belongs from an accounting standpoint. Anybody?
What would happen if you made it $4,500?
You can skate by.
I move that we reduce line, 735, radio, radar, and electronic equipment from $5,000 to $4,500.
There's a motion on the table. We got a second from Matt. Any further discussion or questions? All those in favor? Opposed?
Nay.
Got one no, abstentions,
Yeah.
and one abstention. Motion passes. Okay. Recharge fire extinguishers, level funding at 400. Safety equipment, going from 500 to 2,000. And this is line 750.
What is safety equipment?
Cones, traffic signs,
Oh, okay.
roadwork signs, plastic jersey barriers,
I was thinking vests, so.
vests, hard hats, gloves, that's all safety equipment, safety glasses. All the proper PPE to keep us safe on the streets of Troy.
Do you not have any?
Do you have hard hats
We're
now?
terrible.
Yeah,
Chainsaw
no,
hard
I'm
hats,
You what?
chainsaw hard hats,
It's a hard hat,
yeah. Not hard enough.
not for you.
Well,
Alright. Get your safety equipment.
Any other questions? Any other
So is
real
this-
legitimate questions?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is this just a one-time thing where you need this amount? Or are you gonna
Yes.
need this amount going forward?
No, it's gonna, everything that's jumping up like this,
It's just to
everything's
get caught up.
get caught up.
Okay, that's good.
Like I said, everything's been so neglected and behind the times for the last, I don't know how many years, but with the way the laws are changing, OSHA's changing, everything needs to be brought up to
You get a
speed.
fine, they'll spend more than this.
Right, but this is just the start of it to get us on that track.
Okay. Alright.
I don't know what labor safety standards we're required to meet, but I know OSHA doesn't apply to, state and town employees.
Primex.
So, whatever your insurance is, that's who Primex is, in case anybody was wondering. Sand and gravel, we are going from 3,000 to 8,000. Line 760.
Oh, yes, sorry.
And makes the roads a little wider and stronger. And the sand is just for,
Shoulders?
shoulders, backing up the roadsides.
Any other questions from the group?
How much is sand tonnage wise compared to grindings or, if you have a company in town doing grindings and they can dump it at the highway barn, don't you wanna use grindings instead of sand so it doesn't wash away?
Yeah, but grindings are $25 a ton.
They're up to that now?
Yeah.
So, are you able to maybe check with BDM when they have a grinding project and see, if maybe get a load from them with a triaxle?
You can try that,
You know, it's worth making a phone call.
it is. The other thing I can do is talk to the state too.
Any other comments or adjustments on this line? Alright,
You got a note on this one?
Oh, there, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Overage for the 2022 hay, seed, erosion control.
this is line 764, seed fertilizer and loam.
Yeah.
Needed some additional materials for erosion control in 24, but we're level funding from 300 to 300 for 25.
Okay.
Any other questions? Signs, we're going from 1,500 to 2,500.
What kind of signs?
These are street signs.
The street signs, regulatory signs, what do they call them, dead end signs.
Okay.
No outlet
No,
signs,
outlet sign, you know,
dead end signs,
Like What happened to our current signs? Do they just need to be updated, or?
Yeah,
I think
everything,
in many cases, we're missing them.
yeah.
People like to take them.
You notice some street signs that are up on telephone poles now,
Yes, I have.
they can't steal them anymore.
Bigelow
Well,
Hill
they
was,
can.
You just have to work at it more.
Yeah,
somebody's got a stack of Bigelow Hill signs in there somewhere.
Really?
In their gar- Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you had to put it up on,
we replaced 4 of them last year, just on Bigelow Hill.
I don't know, I think it was like a game or something. Something was happening there.
Or a TikTok trend.
There is a bill missing out of there somewhere
For signs?
for signs.
So 416 is not necessarily accurate. Excuse me.
No, I didn't put it, I didn't do it.
Pay for all this stuff eventually.
Alright,
Are we good with signs?
yeah.
Okay, social security.
14879.
Excuse me.
This is going down.
And that's based on the proposed.
Yeah.
Small tools.
Small tools.
No. This budget 750, overage 178, new drill bits, new small tools that were missing, new tools that were needed for work on the trucks. That's just the account for the overage.
We're hoping to buy more battery powered, power tools instead of the corded stuff. That way we can bring stuff with us on jobs instead of running back and forth.
Yeah.
It is a pain, you get a breakdown, you know, on top of West Hill, you don't have tools, you gotta run back downtown, grab something. If it's corded, we don't have inverters in the trucks. It's just, it's gonna be more efficient to have battery powered tools with us.
All right, any other questions on small tools? Snowplow parts and repair, we're going from 1,800 to 5,000. Is there a note on that, 780?
Nope.
No.
No,
Any questions from the group?
That's the obvious one.
Yeah.
25-year-old plows that are a little worn out,
We didn't talk about getting a new one?
we're getting one with the new truck.
They have, gonna have a wing?
Yep.
About time.
Plow and
So-
wing, full hydraulic setup.
So when are we getting the
Gonna
new
save on
truck?
your overtime.
New truck, I heard from the sales guy a couple weeks ago, it's supposed to be in December.
So
Like
is
how
that
soon
gonna
next week?
replace this snowplow?
No, that's gonna be our 3rd truck in the fleet. Now, if the new truck has a wing, it's gonna cut time down,
Yeah.
so we don't have to make 4 passes up the road, we make 1. And then the 3rd truck will be the follow truck behind me to do the same thing as a wing. So we cut that time in half.
Wait a minute,
Also.
say that again?
So the plow and the wing,
Yeah,
instead of doing the 4 passes, that wing you can push almost fully horizontal,
what's the width on that?
10 foot.
Okay,
We'll have a 10-foot plow and 10-foot wing,
well, one up and one down, that should cover the whole road.
right?
So you're not gonna need anybody coming behind you,
Nope, but we only have 1 truck with a wing.
correct?
That truck does half the town, the other trucks do the other half.
Right.
So you have that follow truck. So instead of me making 2 passes, I'll have somebody behind me making that 2nd pass. So we're following each other.
So the 3rd truck isn't that the one with the broken frame and that we had to repair last year, or is there a 4th truck that we're getting rid of?
Nope, that's that truck.
Okay. Yeah, I was under the impression when the new truck was being purchased, we were retiring that old truck.
No, that's gonna be the winter follow behind truck, and then that's gonna be a truck that's gonna be used as a spare in the summertime, and then something that the water department can use if need be.
Any other questions on the snowplow parts and repair? State retirement,
25558.
25558.
Sorry, one more time?
25558.
Thank you.
Stone for roads, we're going from 1250 to 3200, spent 3200 this year. Well, 3140, excuse me.
Says need more stone for dirt roads and bought more to store at the barn in case of emergency. Or did. That explains,
Alright, sweeping, looks like we're dropping that down a little bit this year from 2000 to 1475, spent 1195 on sweeping. Telephone basic rate, this never makes any sense to me. Alright, so going from 275 to 225, $50 reduction, that's fine. Just don't understand why this one is 225 in the transfer station, what was it?
Was that,
Transportation has a-
900,000, something like
I
that?
think this one's
Different
void.
carrier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
this
highway
is
department
VOIP.
employee.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. That would
I
make
need to
sense.
remember that number. Cause that should be one of the library things.
It's weird, why is there even a charge at all for VOIP?
Yeah.
225,
Oh, yeah.
that's 225 a year. Oh,
I know, like, at home I pay like
That's a
10
big
or
difference.
$15 for the phone, in addition to the internet, so.
We good on that one?
Yeah.
I started something I couldn't finish.
No.
Alright, cell phone, 1200, going up to 1600. This is line 812. Nope. Alright, training, hiring, and testing, going from 1200 to 1500. Did I say 1200 to 1500 in the last one? It was
I
1200 to
believe you
1600.
said that, yes.
Yeah, it's 1200 to 1600 on the cell phone, 1200 to 1500 on the training, hiring, and testing. Any questions or comments?
Is that just cost for the cell phone going up?
Back to the cell phone, John, question.
Yes.
And what testing, hiring,
It's all, continuous learning through UNHT2 and NHMA for all classes pertaining to highway and how the whole infrastructure of highways work.
do you guys have to have certifications and things?
Everything now is being state mandated to have certificates in certain things.
Alright, I'm good.
Okay, tree work is its own separate special line item. We're going from 2,500 to 10,000. We spent 0 so far this year, 1,800 last year.
Yeah, that 25 is gonna be spent here in the next couple of weeks.
Do we have certain trees we're looking at?
Yeah, so we have a lot of dead wood that's hanging on trees that needs to come down before it creates more of a problem. We have some problem trees that need to come down before they take out wires.
Do we do this or do we contract it out?
And we contract it out. The whole boom trucking having,
Right, it's,
yeah, it's a nightmare.
So if these are coming down on wires, don't the utilities take care of that?
It's being proactive instead of reactive. We're stopping the problem before it becomes a problem.
They do some, but there's some
Yeah.
places where,
Last one.
I mean, they do a lot.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's still some that we have to do.
There's trees that you could tell them, we'd like to see this come down before it creates a problem. They're like, oh no, we'll take care of it when it happens.
Oh, okay, I thought they were fairly proactive on that.
To me, that's kinda ass backwards. Why would you let the problem happen when you're right there? You just take care of it.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I know it's a lot of money, but again, it's one of those things that's been neglected for so long. You're getting a lot more construction around town, you're getting people calling, hey, branch fell on my dump truck, took out a mirror. The low hanging branch took out my strobe light. And these are all complaints that can be rectified by spending this money to fix it and stay maintained on it.
We bill the state. You bill them, so they won't pay it.
Any other comments or adjustments on tree work? Okay, vehicle fuel diesel, level funding that at 10,000, currently at 8161 for the year. Was over quite a bit in the last two, 12,207 in 22 and 12,611 in 23. Just point of note, that's all.
Is the new truck diesel or gas?
New truck gas. That's why it went down and gas went up.
Ah, yes it did.
And then 6,500 is just a guesstimate.
That's based primarily on the new truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's solely based on the new truck.
Where's the going down part?
It's level.
That's level, okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions on gas or diesel?
Yeah, I can make my annual comment.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
It should be
why is it
Just
separate?
Spend it how you want.
Yeah,
Okay, we can move on now.
Yep. I got my piece in.
I like that, alright. Some repairs on the 2016 trackless.
Okay, got a
Going
note.
from 2,500 to 3,100, spent 3,029 this year.
You'll do that?
Sure, for the trackless.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
880.
80.
Alright, so the overage of 529, bought new tires for the trackless, air conditioner stopped working, fixed that. New blades for finish mower, bought more teeth and parts for boom flail mower. Full service illusion.
Oh, that's the one that if you get it too far out, it wants to tip over.
Yeah.
It'll catch them.
We thought about driving the loader next to it and just holding it down, but it's a little scary.
You gotta have a detailed driver.
I'm sure that's not ANSI approved or OSHA.
No.
Promise you that.
Concrete is cheap.
Primex approved right now.
I
Alright,
got a note on the next one too.
Oh, okay.
okay, this is on the repairs for the 2012 Ford F-350,
Ew.
big number.
Yes.
Oh,
Alright.
DPF filter. Jeez.
Yes, overage of 62.55. Truck has had to have the DPF filter replaced 3 times this year, plus new tires and other work to pass inspection.
This is the one, this
That's
is the
the
truck I was
12.
talking about.
Yep.
This is the one that, I don't know why it passed. It must have had good welds on the frame to pass inspection.
We have to re-weld it.
Yeah. What's the thought that this is going to, this money-hungry old turd is not going to, stop needing this money? You're level funding this, so there must be some assumption that it's gonna,
I mean,
Lighter usage?
Yeah. Well, one, lighter usage. Two,
so it'll only need 2 DPF filters?
I hope not. I hope we rectified that problem by putting a chip and a tuner in it to help alleviate some of that.
Was it just clogging up?
It was all the time.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd one that's cracked.
Cracked.
alright.
They get so plugged up and you just they crack at the weld.
For the pressure?
Yep.
Hmm.
And you can't burn them off.
We'll see what 25 brings, but there will be some question about cutting bait on this thing at some point, but.
Yep.
Alright, 2016, any other questions on the F-350? The 2016 F-550, looks like we're level funding at $6,000 for repairs. Water and sewer service, bumping that up to 800 based on experience by looks. Is there,
Yeah.
nope, no note, okay. Welding supplies, going from 500 to 1,100, spent 1,056, this is line 980.
Got a note.
Sorry.
Who's full of wire for the weld? A welding helmet for safety, welding jacket for safety, gloves, parts for the gun that controls the wire feed and gas.
I saw a lot of
Wear
welding
and tear
on
stuff.
the plows when I was down there last, so. It seems that our welder is getting used.
I take it that's a MIG.
And it's an old one. It's an old Miller.
They run forever.
They do.
Apparently the new ones run even better, but.
Wrong with you?
Don't give me any ideas, geez, man.
The new ones are amazing.
Alright.
The
yeah.
Miller Bobcat,
Yeah.
3-in-1.
The next one, go to-
Workers' comp, how are we doing on this one?
5-8.
5858.
I have no idea what mine is.
And workshops level funding at 500.
I made it. That was a long one.
I move that we approve the road department budget as amended.
Adam, did you calculate?
530565 is the number. Just for context, everybody,
Yes.
we,
Yeah, I got 625.
just so everybody knows, we went from 278,035 in '23 to 395,498 last year. And from 395,498 to 565 this year, which is just between last year and this year is $135,067, which is a 34% increase. The increase between 2023 and 2025 is nearly 100%. Just so,
I think it'd be nice if you saw the
Here.
one-time stuff broken out on it. So that you have a feeling for going forward, what it's gonna drop down to once you get everything up to snuff.
We've got catch-up, it's more than just one-time stuff, there's a whole,
I'm talking about the catch-up stuff that's not gonna happen every year.
right, well,
I mean, you got
I
the new
think
truck.
I almost think there's two classes, there's like stuff that is, you just have to fix because you never fixed it,
Mhm.
and then stuff that
Have to do better.
we have to do better, we were never doing.
Yep.
What, 50,000 is salary stuff.
But, I mean,
Way 80,000.
we cut that budget down last year and he's over, so.
I mean, if stuff breaks, you gotta fix it every year, even if you don't have a budget.
alright, so we have a motion on the table, is that a tentative, Jake?
That's kind of subject to,
Okay.
selection.
Alright, and that's for the 530565, I'm looking for a second.
Second.
Second, Tara.
You can abstain for a second.
Any further discussion? Al? Any further discussion? Don't make me put you in the back of the class.
I've been there many times.
It's already there.
I'm used to it. I can take it.
Alright, hearing no other comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
One no, abstentions? No abstentions. One abstention, sorry, Matt's an abstention. Okay. There we are, we'll circle back, John, on this.
Yeah.
John.
We gotta
We'll
push the
circle
stuff
back
out so
now,
far.
damn it.
Just gotta do it.
Trying to run a meeting here, man. We'll circle back on this after you've met with the same story we said with the, cemetery trustees, so we'll see where they end up and,
Yep.
and if we need to haul you back in here, we'll let you know. Thank you, though.
Am I good? Okay.
He's not done yet.
I got an agenda to get to here, so,
He's got one, couple more
year-to-date
things.
budget versus actual under old business.
We can't do it.
We're not gonna discuss that because I don't think we have the correct report for tonight. Which is fine, I don't know, I didn't follow up on the last two meetings, so I don't know if we discussed it, of any relevance on this, but.
You wanna just send that out to everybody? Do it offline.
I have a request for the
My electronic.
latest year-to-date budget. Jeremy's going to keep that request. So, while we're, Dick, do you have, I didn't put this on the agenda, but do you have a selectmen's update of any description, that you'd like to go over?
I have a thought that I'd like to share more from the State House, because it's well, the new legislature hasn't formed up yet, and that will be next week. I think as we go through our process in town, understanding that there's a supermajority of thinking in one direction, and there are emails going all over the place. The thinking is that, and this is the budget year, so sometime between now and April, the state of New Hampshire, is the legislature and governor, all those other people are gonna come up with a budget that we live with for 2 years. And there's a philosophical bent, which is, we are not going to raise any more taxes. We are not gonna legalize marijuana.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That's a bad,
That
that
is
is a bad decision.
That's a bad decision, in my opinion, too, but it's off the deck for at least 12 months and probably 24.
No kidding.
And what you are going, the offset, to the extent that it's possible, is you are going to see a significant rollback on mandates from Concord. There is a majority within the majority, to say the least, and a significant number of people who aren't in the majority who all are advocating for just less stuff. In terms of requiring, you're gonna get less from Concord, and they presumably are gonna be less involved in what they want, the requirements that they put on the towns and the requirements that they put on the schools.
Yeah, because most of the mandates are unfunded, so
Correct.
anytime there's a mandate, it's like, okay, it costs us more money and there's nothing to offset.
And they're very conscious of that, and that's, the people, the majority of people who won an election are really on that page.
Okay.
So, it could be a good thing. I mean, it's a place we haven't been in 50 years. But just since I've been reading these emails that people are sending around and floating around, you know, you're one of 500 people, but that's the only way they're going to balance to make this thing work money-wise too.
Okay.
There is a, you know, the issue on the interest and dividends tax, which was moderately controversial, it's been fully repealed now, as I'm sure you all know. And the interest on the net effect on that is that it is actually bringing far more money into the state and more money for development into the state. So it's actually pushing economic growth, which is likely to lead to, it's only gonna push demand for business spaces and residential units that much more.
The warrant article front here in town that might be of note.
We have just started talking about it, and we haven't really developed that. We are hoping to not have an extensive, you know, kind of what we've been doing, but not a new dramatic desire for anything.
Okay. John, this is a perfect opportunity to, I'm sure you'll be mentioning it to them tomorrow night, but do you have any warrant articles in mind for new equipment, major road overhauls, et cetera? And do you have any idea what we're talking about dollar amount wise?
Brook Street's gonna be on the warrant article, and that should be,
What's block grant, right?
that's the block grant, which, that's gotta go through town meeting anyways. That's roughly 50,000 and change, and then the big one is putting rubber tired excavator on the warrant article, which is right now 160,000.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? All right, public comment? I don't see any public.
Just John.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting at 8:27 PM.
So moved.
Motion and a second, Dick and Matt. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Excellent, thank you all.
Jeremy,
I thought you were gonna
sign
go.
for the stamp, or did somebody else?
Just send it.
Should be here from her soon.
Night.
Wording to ours in the bank today, they didn't mention it.
Wait, what?
Ben,
Didn't do
when's our next meeting?
Library
thank you.
is the 9th.
Better.
Selectmen are the 5th.
Gonna need that check here in the
The
next
ninth.
10 days,
December
because we
9th.
don't have, we haven't even sent out a tax bill. We
For
would have a
rec,
tax bill.
library, and the community
Okay.
center.
Thinking first December meeting,
Do I
First what?
get that?
December meeting.
Why do I get that one up there?
Yeah, well, but I already have my tax bills from Fitzwilliam and Swansea and Keene, so, you know.
Yeah, I think I
It's,
got
we're
one.
gonna,
Alright,
if
so
you, we
December
have to pay the
9th.
state, we have to pay the county on
Yeah, I think I got one.
10,
No, I mean, not.
Well, the main-
December